Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Australian Report for Tuesday, November 30th, and starting with the ASX here. So we're looking at this here as the A wave here, an A and a B and a C for the B wave here, and down for the C wave. Now currently for the C wave we're looking for 5 waves, so we have 1 and 2, and we're looking for 3 and 4, and then down for 5 here. So let's go in and have a look at this, and we also need to compare this to what the banks are doing as well, so and the rest of the market. So wave 1 here, 2 here, 3 here, and 4 here, and 5 here. Now we're going to go above this line's the 38.2% retracement level, so we're going to be going above that. We're going to be going closer to the 7,300, and this is also too where if we get a classic trading levels pattern here, and there will be a struggle here because as you can see this level is actually quite a strong support or resistance in that way, but if we get a classic trading levels pattern here, we can go long here. So there is a flag being risen because it's going to be trading above the 38.2% retracement level, but I think that we can allow it to go back and test this supply level here for that, so I'm not too concerned about that. And this is sort of how it looks with wave 1 and 2 here, and 3 and 4 and 5 for the third wave. Didn't come as low as I thought it may have done yesterday. So the upside here for wave 4 as an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave. And as I mentioned, if we get the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, and then some sort of ABC correction here, we will need to look to go long here because the banks do need to rally in a B wave, and we could go with that as such. So let's just understand this a little bit better. So for that we'll need to go to the tick chart. So from wave 3 low here, we'll look up as 1, 2, anyway, for, wave A here, nice ABC for the B wave, and then for the C wave we'll be looking for 5 waves. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for wave 1 and 2, and I think this is 1 and 2 here, and 3 and 4 here. So I think that we could make a high up here for wave 3, then come back and check support, and then have another little 5 wave structure moving to the upside here. But I wouldn't expect it to find support on the 7.3, but like I mentioned, if it does do that, if it does give us that first high above the level, even if it's up to say 10 or 20 there, that will give us our reference point to go long at, because that's the point that we would be wrong at that point and would be looking for the next 5 waves down to come into play here. So that's really where we are with all of this. So yeah, so wave 3 with an A and a B, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, taking us into that space. So I suppose in one way or another too, we can look at how to short this as well. So we just looked at being long if we're wrong, but what about if we're right? So we need to be we need to be there for that. So if this was, for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up here as another impulse wave, so we look at this as wave 1 here and back for wave 2, and then up for 1 here and then back for wave 2. So we really need to know where that support is on that side. So obviously we can read the waves. Let's just take it to that point. So that would leave us with the market, well, technically could pull back into, once it does this 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 up here, then it could pull back for an ABC pattern at that point. So for it to do that, let's just keep that there, but we'll just move it along a bit more, probably about there. So we would need to allow this to probably come down to here to hit some sort of support within here for the A wave, and then the B wave, and then the C wave here. So if that was the case, that also opens up this B wave as a long trade at this point. So it leaves us at 72.40. So if you're going to, well, if you could count 5 waves here, you could short the retracement at that point. But you need to understand if that's going to be 5 waves or 3 waves. So you need to be very clear, you know, this is in 3 waves, this is in 5 waves. So you need one of these upside down over here, because once you've got that, then you can short the 50-60% retracement level at that point. And it may only come down to here and then move off from that point. That's the trick. But even if this, with this trend line through here, likely to come down, come back and test it here a couple of times here, and then move on down. So really the short trade, the safe short trade, would be under the 72.40 at that point. So it's a little way off, but doable at that point. But the problem with this is that let's just go back to the 4-hour chart just for a moment. So yeah, we're looking for one more sort of move down here, but you know, what about if I have this wrong? What about if in some way or another all of this is up for wave 1 here, and we just have this A, B, C back for wave 2? Well, we know that we need to be long on the 7,300 as a classic trading levels pattern, so that will take a little while to set up. It will be a bit like this here. So a bit of a grind occur. It will grind away at that level there. So be very patient and you know, make sure that you've got it right before you move. So with the banks, with CommBank here, one of the reasons that well, the move down through here is impulsive. So yesterday we were looking at wave 3, 4 and 5 coming down through here. So this is kind of getting ready to rally. So if this does rally into wave B, well, this pattern will probably show up on the ASX 200. So that's really going to complicate things, isn't it? So, you know, if it's going to rally, then you know, then it could be so just more complication in a way, really. So it could just come higher into this space. But yeah, the time that, let's just have a little look at this. Putting that here, just opening that up a little bit. So we know we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 here. So we're very close to having a low in place here. We'll check on that in a moment. But yeah, like I said, that means it would rally back up 50 or 60%. So if this was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, say 20 days. So we'll get 10 days of B wave rally here. You know, it's like 2 weeks. So during the daytime, you know, this would be sort of rallying with this, and then at night time, you know, would turn into Superman and follow the S&P 500. So which could be bearish as well. You need to watch that video. So that's sort of where we are, really. So let's just go in and have a little closer look at this here on the tick chart. Just focusing on this move down. So we've been counting it down as excuse me, as 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, and all the way down for the third wave here with 1 and 2 and drop into 3 and 4 and 5 here. They could probably sit there better, but anyway, it doesn't matter too much. So we were here yesterday looking for this. So how is that looking? Well, it kind of looks like it's not finished. It looks like this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down to here. So copy that. So we may have a bit more bearishness to go. That could play out okay. I don't know, a bit dodgy there. Yeah, so they all could finish off together, really, I guess. Would still need that move down there for that to finish off. The US banks are going through this same things, A, B and C for wave 4. Anyway, there we go. So what we can say is that we could expect some more of a bearish move, maybe later in the afternoon. I'm not sure if the S&P closed, yeah, it would have closed up, so yeah, but showing a bit of weakness. Anyway, as far as this goes, it does look like we need to finish off here, so that might be helpful before we start this run here for the B wave, and then down for the C wave at that point. And we'll look to short this C wave, by the way. I'm not that interested in trading the B wave up, but I can help out with it, of course. But yeah, the C wave for sure, because there should be some sort of equality between wave A and wave C here for this. ANZ is doing this same but different. So with ANZ here, we've got the same sort of pattern from down yonder here as 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and wave 3 here. Yeah, so I haven't really been sure how to play this out here. I wasn't sure if we're going to get a triangle pattern in this wave 4 here. So in this case we'd have the A wave here, the B wave here, then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 down here. Or if it's going to travel sideways here, then we could look at a triangle pattern unfolding at this point. But so far with this here, I think that there's still a rally here and then down again at this point for wave 3 only at that point. So this, just to give you an idea here, this sharp move down, I would just assume at this point would be wave 1, and this would be wave 2 back here, but it's a little bit wild at that point. But then you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, so I think that we've got the third wave here and coming back for the fourth. So not really any good trading here. You know, you're likely to lose money if you're not quick enough. And then this wave 4 would play back up here, and then this would play down here. So that's how I'm seeing that at the moment. So that, I mean, the US banks are, this is Morgan's here, but it doesn't matter if it's, you know, Bank of America. But I have changed this count a little bit. But wave 3, 4, and 5 waves up here for 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 5 for the third wave here. So I'm just seeing if this is going to, you know, get more complicated in this area here. So lining all the banks up around the world, because they're all moving, you know, got to do with the interest rates and comparisons and so on. So yeah, we'll just continue to monitor this, but I think this just gets a little bit uglier in here and drops a little bit lower here for this. So that's Morgan's, but Bank of America's, they're all the same in one way or another to a point. But yeah, so that lines up quite nicely with all of those in that larger wave 4. Yeah, and also into the indices as well. I mean, this wave 4 here for the Australian market, I'm also looking at the Nasdaq and the S&P also as alternative counts for wave 4 as well. Okay, so over to commodities. So we just look at iron ore, and with iron ore here on the daily chart, we're just looking down. We know this move here, as I've always mentioned, has always been in 3 waves, clear as a bell. So I know that that's corrective. So it makes all of this corrective. So at some point, we're going to be taking out these highs here. I know that's hard to imagine under current situations, but, you know, things change, you know, shit happens. So arguments are resolved, hopefully, you know. Anyway, so what I do know is that the little move up through here, we've been counting that as an impulse wave, and that's been giving us, shining a little bit of light on the lows in related stocks, Brio, FMG, BHP, and so on. So because we got 5 here, yesterday we were looking for a pullback for wave 2, so because we've got 5 here, it means we'll get another 5. So that will give us up to wave 3, but realistically we got to kind of also think too that we could have another wave 4 here or something or other. So if that was the case, I doubt it, but that will take us to this wave 4. We know we're going to have problems at 800 anyway, so I don't have to worry about that just yet, but I just wanted to take a look. Let's go just to the intraday and have a little look at that, because there was some weird shit in here happening, which I didn't quite get my head around, so I'd like to do that a bit more. So this is 100 ticks. That's working from that low, and yeah, well, we just spent time counting 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 up here for 1, and then I was looking for an A wave and a B wave and a C wave here, and I had good cause to have that too, because this appears to be wave 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 here. So because I got 5 waves here, I should get a rally and then another 5, unless we're going to get some sort of expanded flat happening, which means that it takes the top out here, comes down and takes the low out here, and then moves up, and then we would need to look at this as corrective at that point, because we would need to look at this as wave B here at that point, probably a degree higher at that stage. Yeah, I mean, maybe I've made my problem in here. I mean, maybe it's this little wave here. So from here I've got 1 and 2 and the 3rd wave in here, and the 4th and the 5th down into here. So maybe that's my problem in this little area through here. So if that was the case, well, we can move these. Let's just pop these over here. I'll check on this in a minute. So that's only 3 waves up so far, so that I'll check on that in a moment. So then this here would have to be 5 waves here for the A wave, the B wave and the C wave. I should have checked the details. Okay, so I'll just double check that in a second. Right, in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's all of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1 and 2, 1 and 2 and 3. So I think that's right. So that can pull back here further. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's going to pull back a bit further here. That's going to be some sort of, try to do some sort of rally back here and then up to here for that. So I mean, the thing is that if this is going to be over here, then that's going to be the B wave at that point. So I'll put that just next to, I'll just put it next to the wave 3 there. So it could just drop back down into this space here. So a little bit more work here, but the thing is that we got 5 waves here, right? So then we were looking for a correction into the box. So because we got 5 here, that means we'll get another 5 over here for that. I don't think that's the case. I just got to own up to my mistakes. Yeah, so all this becomes a little bit interesting now then. So we should get some, after that's done here, this will be a little bit important, so I will label it here. This will be a little ABC pattern coming back here, and that means that once this, let's just say that this moves up and hits on that, or close to it, then we'll have some sort of ABC pattern here, and then we'll move up again. So that means that if this unfolds, let's just assume that it unfolds, then that means we can go long. I think we might already be long here because that was the idea of going long above that, but anyway, it doesn't, it's kind of, it's really about triggering stock trades really, and this would be the other one over here. Okay, so if we get this ABC here today, then yeah, and we'll also look getting support on top of this 650 here, which is a medium level, then we can look at that, build on that point there as well. So really what it means is building on stock, you know. It'll just pull it back down there, so it's not a big issue. But look, I have to say, there we go. We've got 5 waves off the low, so it helps reinforce that low there, and that's important for our resources, you know. So it would be nice to have support on this level. It will take a little bit of time, but it does give us that lift off there, and it gives us enough lift to actually kind of manage our initial exposure on, I haven't looked at our stocks today or yesterday. Where are we here? BHP. So, okay. Things get squashed all back to the price. That makes it a little bit difficult. So, what were we talking about here? Obviously, we're talking about this little impulse wave here as being wave 1 and 2, also possibly wave 3 for the, possibly wave C for the wave 4 here. But the good news here, still got to figure out this here. This may be wave 1 here with an A and a B and a C here for that too. So that's another possibility for that. So I might just even label that for the time being, just so I remember. Yeah, because we're also looking at this being an A wave here, a B wave to this point, and a C wave to here. And that's why we got the wave 4 there. But because we've sort of nipped that top out there, so to speak, then we can remove the C wave here. So that's what I'm going to do. I'll bring these back here. I don't need that. And we can just stay to our 3, 4 and 5 here. So it's possible that this could be a 1 and 2 here. It's a bit of a long shot, and it doesn't really matter at this point in time. What matters now is that we can go long above here. And what it also means is that we can put our stop here as well, because we've got 5 waves up there, and then we've had this corrective move here. And I could probably just turn that into a wave 3, but that would be, we're not there yet. I mean, in iron ore, we've just got that as wave 1 here, haven't we, in iron ore? So, and then in iron ore, we've got this now as wave 2 here. So I think that we could kind of just run with that just for a little while and see how that looks, and we'll make any adjustments as required. So, go BHP. We also want to add to this, if we get a classic trading levels pattern on the 40, which is a medium level. So I'll leave that up to you. And if we're right here, then this would be wave 1 here and 2, and then we'll gap for 3 probably, and 4 and 5 at that point. And then we can come back here for that and that. And then this will either be wave 3 or wave 1 up here. We'll check on that anyway. But look, the main takeaway here is that it's looking good. Let's just check on the others. So Rio. Okay, so that's all good. Okay, so yeah, we sort of labelled this wave 1 and 2 here, and then 1 and 2. So we could probably, if we just, actually I'll just move that to there and that to there. I don't think we can look at this as 1 and 2. I'm going to label it anyway, but it might mean that we need to change things here. But what I have to say here is also good is we've got that, we've got, you know, all of this up for wave 1 here now, and wave 2, it hasn't come as high. What have we got inside of that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so it looks like a little wave 1 and 2 in there as well. So that should be good. So if you're not long here, then you can go long. I'll just put it there, which is, it'll gap open probably, but we've got that position there. That probably gapped open too, so I'll put it there. But the good news is that we can have this here now. So we can lock in our loss, our exposure, which is good. Very good. I mean, we would have had it down here to begin with. So there we go. This is probably not true, these 1s and 2s here, but I've got to figure out what they are, where they belong. Do they belong to the downtrend or do they belong to the uptrend? So things like that become apparent in due course. But the good thing here is that it's all looking pretty good. Iron ore's up overnight, just in case that's down for 1 here, like a 5 wave structure here. But that's what we noticed on iron ore as well, wasn't it? But we had that 5 waves, but we made that top. So I'll stay with that. That's all good. And we'll just have a look at our FMG as well. So this had a slightly different count with this. I don't think I can label that wave 3 there, so I'm going to have to put that over there. I'm going to put that there, that there. Looks a bit impulsive to the downside, but we wanted to add to this, so you can add above the top there if you want a bit more safety for that. Technically, we could put the stop just under here, but until it takes the high out here, I don't want to do that. That also gapped up as well. We had it here somewhere, but it doesn't matter. And that means that we can put this here as 1 and 2 over here. I mean, it could be an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave down here, but if iron ore's going to be up, you know, it was up last night, then we should see this move up. So I'll just move these along. I mean, it looks better here as a wave 1 and 2, doesn't it? Anyway, we'll just keep plodding along. I mean, it could be an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave up here, but I don't think it's the case. Okay, that's that. Let's just check on the Aussie dollar, which is which we spoke about yesterday. It breached this low here, so it forces this to be corrective as an A and a B and a C. That's one thing. So we know that's corrective. That means it will take out this low now, which we're on the low of that now, which we talked about yesterday. So that will eventually come down. We know we've got 5 waves in here, so we'll look at this as 1 and 2 and a third and fourth and fifth. So I don't know if we've got this as wave 4 here and then coming down for wave 5, or we can all look at this as an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave down here. I mean, I have to say, this first move down through here is corrective. So it makes all of this corrective. Unless I've made a mistake somewhere, we could end up having this as, let me just check here, either that as wave 1 here or here. I'd have to check on that, but I was thinking that it could be wave 1 over here and wave 2 over here, you know. But this is looking here. Yeah, no, that's impulsive. This looks like 5 waves here, so it looks like a B wave to here, and then a C wave to this point. So then that needs to be changed. That needs to go over here. Still, that's an impulse wave, so that can't sit there. A, B, and C. I'll need to check, but anyway, I'll just keep mulling that over a little bit. But it doesn't matter. The Australian dollar is going to come down further. It's going to be bouncy, coming into 70, 71, 72, all of that. And yeah, I don't, you know, you could hold it short, but yeah, don't overtrade because it's going to bounce around a bit. Alrighty, I'll leave it at that. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.